Hello friends, welcome to Vocab with Nikunj. Today we'll be revising the difficult words which were used in the editorial which was published on June 16, 2022. Okay, so the first word is demolition. For demolition, you all might be knowing that it's a complete destruction of a building. When the building is collapsed, it is called demolition. Okay, and let's have a look at the topic. So it says bulldozer on the loose means bulldozer is there is no control on the bulldozer, and on demolition of property of Muslim activists. So Muslim activists, the property of Muslim activists, they are being taken down. Okay, so that is what the editorial is all about. And uh, demolition मतलब कि building को गिराना पूरा. Okay, then the next word is retribution. Retribution means the act of taking revenge. Okay, so बदला लेना बोलते हैं हिंदी में. All right, and let's see the contextual uses. So it says the demolition of houses and buildings linked to protesters in UP is nothing but retribution and collective punishment targeted at Muslims. So it says that the demolition which is taking place of and whose house is being demolished, protesters, okay, in UP. So in other words, the government is taking revenge. Okay, the government is retributing and collectively punishing. Okay, and specifically the targets are Muslims. Okay, so that is what it is trying to say over here. And the retribution means the act of taking revenge, badla lena Hindi mein. Okay, yeah. And the next word we have got is conspirator. Conspirator, if you have heard, conspiracy means षड्यंत्र हिंदी में कहते हैं a member of a group of people who are planning to do something bad or illegal. So if there's a group, okay, and the members are planning to do something illegal, something bad, okay, they will be called conspirator, a conspirator. And let's see the contextual uses. So yeah, shortly after he was identified by the police as an alleged conspirator. Alleged means something has been said but is not proved. कहा गया लेकिन प्रूव नहीं हुआ है, अभी तक सिद्ध नहीं हुआ है. आरोप आरोप लगा है. ओके, कॉन्स्पिरेटर. ठीक है, तो कहा गया कॉन्स्पिरेटर, ऐसा कॉन्स्पिरेटर जिसका आरोप अभी सिद्ध नहीं हुआ है. Who was behind the violence during a protest? Okay, so this is the conspirator. Okay, conspirator, uses of conspirator. Okay, a member of a group. And then the next word is amply. Amply means sufficiently, more than adequately. जितना है, जितनी जरूरत है उससे ज्यादा. Okay, amply, ample. Okay, amply is adverb over here. And let's see what is it modifying. So so it says that. Okay, let's read the complete sentence. The description of the residence of Javed Muhammad. Javed Muhammad was somebody, and his house was destructed. Okay, he was an activist of Welfare Party of India, and he was also a businessman in Prayagraj. Okay, shortly after he was identified by the police as an alleged conspirator behind the violence during a protest. Okay, so he was identified as a protester. Okay, and it seems that he was behind the violence. The violence which took place, he was behind it during a protest, and yeah, so amply demonstrates this. So it sufficiently demonstrates. Okay, I'll tell you what does it demonstrate. Okay, so the retribution part, no, that is what it is talking about over here. That a businessman whose this thing involvement in violence has not been proved yet. It's only it's been alleged. Okay, it's not proven yet. Okay, and his voice, if his house is taken down, then it simply demonstrates that it's this demolition act is an act of retribution, an act of taking revenge. Okay, समझ में आ गया ये बात? ठीक है. And then the next word we have got is fig leaf. Fig leaf का मतलब होता है a thing intended to conceal a difficulty or embarrassment. Something which is conceal. Conceal means hide. Okay, so any difficult thing or any embarrassing thing, if something is made to hide, it's called a fig leaf. Let's see the contextual uses. the fig leaf of legality attached to a claim that the action by the Prayagraj. So, if they have taken down a house of a person whose involvement was not proven yet, they had to say something, right? The administration. So they wanted to hide something. So how did they hide? They said, what did they hide is, being told in this fig leaf thing. Okay, the fig leaf of legality means that that aspect of legality which they were trying to hide attached to a claim was to clear an illegal building. Okay, so what they did was they demolished a building, okay, on the pretext that he was involved in some violence, but later they said that it was to the house which was demolished was to clear an illegal building. Okay, and this fig leaf, this concealment, it has been blown away by the fact that the notice of demolition was addressed to Mr. Muhammad and not to his wife who owns the property. The, see, if something has to be taken down and any illegal building, notice should come to the owner, not to anybody who is not the owner. So this all is, showing that it's all an act of revenge. Okay. So, okay, anyways, let's leave the politics. You understood the meaning of fig leaf, right? Concealment of something difficult or embarrassing thing. Okay. Next word is brush aside. Is a phrase and it means bar from attention or consideration. That means not to give any attention. कोई attention न देना, कोई ध्यान न देना. Okay, that brush aside means that. And let's see the contextual usage. Yeah, the families charged that the notice was served only a day before the demolition. Family said that notice of demolition was served only one day before the demolition, and it was backdated to May 10. That means they served the notice in the one day before, but they put the date on that notice as much behind a date. Let's say May 10. Okay, and it cannot be brushed aside. That means it cannot be, it cannot be barred from consideration. That means it has to be considered. This fact has to be considered. Okay, understood? Brush aside. Next word we have got is rehabilitation. It simply means restoration of someone to a useful place. किसी को बसाना. Okay, rehabilitation. And it says that yeah, it is well known that the removal of encroachments or illegal constructions cannot take place without due process. What they're saying is that if something has to be taken down on the pretext of illegal construction, it should not happen, it should not take place without following the due process. Okay, and what does due process include? It includes giving the owner or occupier an opportunity to be heard and finding alternative accommodation under any existing rehabilitation scheme. That means that the owner should be given a chance that to say what he has to say, okay, about this building, that building which is going to be taken down, and also he has to find an alternative accommodation under any existing rehabilitation scheme. That means there are several rehabilitation schemes. इसको हिंदी में बोलते हैं पुनर्व्यवस्था, पुनर्व्यवस्था मतलब ऐसा कुछ होता है जिसमें जो बिना घर वाले होते हैं उनको घर दे दिया जाता है. ओके, तो उसे रिहेबिलिटेशन स्कीम कहते हैं. तो उसके अंतर्गत उन्हें एकोमोडेशन देना चाहिए. ओके, दे हैव टू बी गिवन एकोमोडेशन अकॉर्डिंगली. सो दैट इज व्हाट रिहेबिलिटेशन मींस. ओके, रिस्टोरेशन ऑफ समवन टू अ यूजफुल प्लेस इन सोसाइटी. ठीक है, रिहेबिलिटेशन का मतलब याद रहेगा. And the next is an idiom in the wake of. In the wake of means following something or someone, especially as a consequence. It can also be said consequently. Okay, so कुछ भी follow हो रहा है consequence के रूप में, उसको कहते हैं in the wake of. आइए contextual usage देखते हैं, then you will get to know better what does it mean. The latest demolition are linked to the protests that took place in the wake of controversial remarks. So that means that first of all, controversial remarks were made. Okay, and following controversial remarks, what happened? Demolitions took place. Okay, so now you understood. Demolitions are being followed by controversial remarks. Okay, See, following someone or something. That means that after the cause is controversial remarks, effect is demolitions. Okay, so that is what it is. And next is an interesting word. Brook means bear or tolerate. Baldash karna. Okay, that means somebody is tolerating something. It can be said it is being they are brooking it. And the contextual usage, they say that why a center has sought to clarify to Islamic countries. Center government, they are clarifying to Islamic countries that it does not brook any respect to any religion. Okay, that now see it has come to that point that central government has to clarify to Islamic countries, Muslim countries, that um, they are not tolerating any disrespect to any religion. They have to give this clarification. यहाँ तक बात आ गई है. ठीक है, ब्रूक की मीनिंग याद रहेगी, बर्दाश्त करना. ओके, और उसके बाद अगला शब्द देखते हैं stringent. Stringent simply means strict. ओके, stringent का मतलब देखते हैं contextual uses. For political purpose, it is presented as stringent action against antisocial elements. So, for the politics, this thing, okay, from the politics perspective, it is shown as very strict action against antisocial elements. That means if any antisocial element is there and their house itself is taken down, okay, so it is shown as a strict action, but that is not the way it should be. It should follow its due process, right? Right? Uh, so yeah, so stringent means strict. Now next word we have got is convoluted. Convoluted means extremely involved, intricate, complicated. Okay, तो बहुत ज्यादा involved हुआ हो या complicated हो वैसा. ठीक है, तो convoluted का contextual usage देखते हैं. And yeah, it is unfortunate, you know, it is not very good, and a defining feature of these convoluted times. So the times in which we are living, those are very complicated times. Okay, and what is a defining feature of these times is that some states, okay, take such pride in demolishing building that they want a bulldozer to symbolize their purported resolve in keeping minorities under check. States like Uttar Pradesh, okay, they take pride in demolishing buildings, okay, especially of Muslims, and they want the bulldozer to symbolize their resolve. Which kind of resolve? Purported resolve. That means purported means appearance of. Okay, so what appearance the resolve is having? The resolve is having a appearance of a bulldozer. Okay, for what purpose? To keep minorities under check. Purported meaning याद रहेगी appearance. Okay, convoluted means complicated. Alright, and the next word is suomoto. Suomoto means on its own motion, means by itself. Okay, and the contextual usage is that six former Supreme Court and High Court judges and six senior advocates have appealed to the Supreme Court to take suo motu cognizance of the demolitions. So it has come to this point that six judges and six senior advocates have have asked the Supreme Court, requested the Supreme Court to consider it and take an action on its own. So motu means on its own motion. That means without any court case filed, it should take or action on its own. Okay, it should take cognizance means consider. Okay, it should identify, it should go through it, the demolitions part. Okay, and the last word we have got is proportionality, means the idea that an action should not be more severe than is necessary, means that to kill a mosquito you should not use a bazooka. Okay, as simple as that. So, if somebody is taking part in a protest, their house should not be taken down. That is what this is trying to say. Okay. And let's see the uses. Okay. Whether the courts act or not, there is little doubt that the demolition amount to an abuse of power. So, the Hindu editorial is saying, irrespective of the fact, if the court, takes so much action or not, but there is no doubt, means it is confirmed that these demolitions amount to an abuse of power. That the demolitions which are taking place, they are nothing but an abuse. Okay, of power, a challenge to the rule of law, and are inherently illegal due to absence of due process or proportionately. Okay, so they are inherently illegal because there is no due process of law which they are following, or the principle of proportionality which they should be following. Proportionality, I have already told you कि कोई भी एक्शन जो है वो इतना सेवियर नहीं होना चाहिए उससे ज्यादा सेवियर नहीं होना चाहिए जितनी उसकी जरूरत है. ठीक है, मतलब किसी ने अगर कुछ छोटा सा कुछ चुराया है उसके लिए उसको जान से नहीं मार देना चाहिए. सिंपल प्रोपोर्शनैलिटी का मतलब प्रिंसिपल ऑफ प्रोपोर्शनैलिटी. So I hope the editorial is clear. I hope the words and their meanings, respective meanings were clear. I hope you will be able to remember and recall it. Okay, चलिए. Thank you for watching, and if you want to improve your vocabulary like this, you can click here and subscribe to my channel. We'll meet in the next session. तब तक के लिए thank you and bye bye.